welcome to the Gagootz Show. Tonight our guests are Just Plain Keith and Joseph Conklin. Also, we're going to show two videos. A video from my wife Nancy interviewing Nancy, Lee West, and Tommy Tom, who have their own show and do a lot of great things with the comedy community.
Reality TV.
Reality TV.
Leality.
Yes, the Leality TV.
Yes.
And we promise before the end of the show, we do have a winner of our Gagootz Show video contest. Yay! Welcome to the Gagootz Show with my wonderful co-host, Nicole LaMonaco.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The soon-to-be birthday girl.
Yes, my birthday's on Friday, April 17th. I'm having a show, birthday extravaganza, at the Villa Monaco in West Islip, 778 Montauk Highway. And it's at 8 o'clock is dinner and 9 o'clock is the show. The headliner will be Stevie GB. We have a lot of great people that are going to be on the lineup, including myself. Stephen Perillo will be hosting it. Kathy Arnold, Vanessa Lintz, Rudy Fusco, and Mike Calcagno will be doing a guest spot.
Wow,
So,
great.
yeah, it'll
great
be a
show.
lot
And the
of fun.
food is great.
Thank you.
The food is great. Even if you don't go there for a comedy show, you should go there for dinner.
Definitely go there for the food, but also come for the comedy
Go
show.
Friday. Go Friday.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun, so
It's
I'm
gonna be-
excited.
Yeah.
Birthday stuff coming up. I have, we just mentioned Reality TV. I actually met him for the first time on Wednesday at Somo Grill in Lindenhurst, where he's running an open mic over there on Wednesday nights. And nice guy, very nice guy. I don't know if I haven't met him before that night.
Yeah, I met him a couple of times, and we're Facebook friends for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So I used to talk to him, but he runs some open mics, and his show is not just a comedy. His show is about, and you'll find out about it in the interview. It's about any kind of talent on Long Island.
Okay.
Anything. He had his sister on there reading the tarot cards.
Oh.
And yeah, so
Maybe they'll have Nijoli back on there.
oh, we need Najoli back here. I love her. I love Najoli.
She's a trip.
She's my favorite character. She is. I really like her. And you mentioned that he just started this open mic.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden on Long Island, we're getting a.
It blew up. It's all over.
And when there isn't, like now, if you're working out comedy or you want to be a comedian, you have almost every night of the week
Available.
from
Yeah,
Monday through Thursday.
Monday night you have the Belmore Bean. Tuesday night you have Lizard Lounge. Wednesday night you have On the Waterfront, and you have Somo. Thursday night, I'm not too sure about.
Well, that revolution thing.
Is that an open mic though?
Isn't it? Well,
It's-
once you're doing the open mics, I think you can.
Well, yeah, once you're doing the open mics. Revolution's usually on a Monday night though.
And you mentioned the Lizard Lounge.
And the Lizard Lounge is also on Sundays too. Thursdays, Mike Keegan is doing an open mic in the city at a place called the Belgium Room, I believe it's called.
All right, yeah.
And then Fridays, John Ziegler has his open mic at the clubs, and Anthony DiDomenico does his too.
And those are late night.
Flyers. Yeah, those are
Right.
late nights. Usually on like the third Friday of the month, they do them at either Governor's
And those are
Flyers.
the bringer show open
yeah,
mics.
so those are the bringer show.
But during the week, you don't have to bring anybody, and we'll let you know about Thursday.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
find
sure
out.
there's a Thursday.
There's one somewhere.
If you're watching this show and you run a Thursday open mic on Long Island or
let
the
us
city,
know.
let us know.
If we'd like to go, I'd like to go.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if he'd like to go.
I would
I want
tomorrow.
to drag him with me.
There was a time of like 15 years ago, I would do a couple of different shows in one night. Because when I did the radio show with Don Sill and he was writing for Good Times,
Yeah.
he would be like, let's go hit the open mics. And I would go up because
You
Don
have to go that
Don
many
didn't want to
times.
go
I
up.
haven't got a chance to go to that many all in one night. I think I've done 2 in one night so far, but I try.
I think in the city, we're going to find out. We're going to ask when Joseph Conklin, he's a city comic.
Yeah.
We're going to ask him about that.
Okay. That's good. You
Yeah.
just mentioned, you said when you were doing your radio show. How was you did your radio show?
I did it Saturday, my first radio show.
Yeah.
Still learning to crawl to use the equipment, but I had a great time. A lot of people listened. They love the music I played.
Are you allowed to get phone, like, can you get
Yeah,
phone
I
calls
can.
and
I can get
requests?
phone calls and requests. But
I'm going to prank call you. You're not
Go
going to know
ahead.
it's me.
All right, I'll give you the
Now
phone
I just
number.
told you. Now you're going to know.
No, it's all right.
Let me write it down. What's the phone number?
All right. The phone number I don't have
He doesn't
offhand.
have it.
I'll
Forget
get
it.
that for you, but I do want to get it on your phone, to get the radio. It's Entertainment. You look like a reporter. What was that movie? The Front Page or something. Yeah.
That must have been before my time. Man.
Yeah, well, they'll remake it because they
They're
remake
rebooting
it
everything right now.
for people like you, but who don't remember that, who don't know who that is. Yeah, they made The Honeymooners with African Americans. Really, come on. The African Americans got mad about that.
They did?
Yeah.
Why?
Because everybody loves Ralph Cramden. There's only one Ralph Cramden and one Norton.
Oh.
You
Well, I
can't-
didn't know that they got mad about it. I didn't know that this was a thing.
It wasn't. They didn't get mad about it for a racial thing. They just got mad that Jackie Gleason, there were certain comedic people.
Well, I'd have to agree with everybody who thinks that it shouldn't have been made because the
Yeah.
movie itself was just dumb.
Yeah, I didn't
Just
even
leave it to the original.
Yeah, the original
Well, let it
episodes were great.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to radio.
Right.
The iEntertainmentRadio.com. iEntertainment Radio. And you go on there on Saturdays. The name of my show was When I Was Back in High School, and it's from 1 to 3.
Awesome.
Had a lot of fun.
Rock and roll.
Played all rock and roll. Grateful Dead. I played 10 Years After.
Cool.
Then I even play a couple of songs from this century,
Oh.
but not
Lucky us.
and not necessarily bands you've heard.
Okay.
I play, but like Mumford and Sons, you've
Yeah.
heard of them. The Decemberists. There's another band called the Civil Wars, who I think is one of the greatest contemporary folk bands around.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yeah.
I
you
work
are.
on Saturdays, so it's hard for me to listen to the radio show. But you know what? I'll sneak in the bathroom so I can make that prank phone call. I'm gonna be out the toilet like, Penny, Penny, I want to hear you rock and roll.
Now I'm going to say something you're not going to have any idea what I'm talking about
All
here.
right.
Play Misty for me. You call up and say, play Misty for me?
Yeah.
You don't know
I
what
have
that
no
is.
idea what you're
You have
saying.
no idea what that is.
No. Can you explain
Should
it?
I strangle it now or later? There was a famous Clint Eastwood movie
Right.
where he was a DJ. And this woman would call him. He was a DJ late at night. And she'd always call and say, play Misty for me. Play Misty for me. And she was a wacko. She was
That's gonna be me
So
calling
it was like a Clint Eastwood slash of, like one of those Fatal Attraction type of.
Right.
It was with Clint Eastwood.
All
And
right.
it was a big cult movie. They'll probably remake that.
Most likely.
They remake everything.
Everything. Jurassic Park's coming out. Jurassic World, actually.
Jurassic
Can't wait.
World. And it's very different. And now the dinosaurs are intelligent now. They're
As
more
if
intelligent.
They weren't before.
But now they understand humans.
The dinosaurs are intelligent. The people still stupid.
Still stupid. Oh, that's great. That should be the slogan. That should be the slogan for it. The dinosaurs are more
You're going
intelligent.
to a park full of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
And there's always going to be an idiot who wants to feed the dinosaurs.
So crazy. It's going to be an awesome movie. I can't wait.
Because you always find in a regular zoo, every couple of years there's some moron who thinks he's going to go in with the polar bears or with the cheetahs.
They're animals.
And they're animals.
They're animals.
They're animals.
No, they are, though. Like, don't touch them. Leave them
Yeah,
alone.
don't feed the giraffes.
No.
Don't feed the elephants.
Just leave them be. Let them do their thing. Just stare at them from afar. Pay you $25 to get in to stare at animals.
You think they're happy? You think you go to a zoo with kids and these animals are happy that they can't roam free?
No. No, they're not happy. I'm a person with a mouth and a car. And if I'm in my house because it's raining out because I'm too lazy to go down my stairs, I'm unhappy that I have to be confined to just one area of my house. It's boring. It's like, no.
And then they
Let
think,
me out.
oh, we'll couple them. We'll put a male and female. So thanks. I'm trapped in a fence with my wife. That's what I want. And I want a bunch of people to come look at me.
Beautiful.
And poke at me. Hey, how you doing? Make fun of me.
Actually, going to your house is like going to your
I got a slap five again here. Another high five.
Seriously. Honestly, just drive past Benny's house. You can't drive past it, though. You have to do a U-turn because it's on a dead end, so you get twice the show. The curtains open. The two of them. It's hilarious.
Now there were a couple of movies I mentioned you didn't remember.
Right.
Everybody remembers Last House on the Left.
Yes.
And I love when I give people directions. Last House on the Left.
It is.
It
is.
And then they know I live there. It's Last House on the Left.
Someone's gonna die.
And you go in my garage, right? You get creepy when you're in my garage.
Yeah, Benny's garage is full of creep stuff. It's random things everywhere. There's like a background that you could like take photos of. There's Spider-Man hanging from the ceiling. There's like corpse heads from Halloween.
Skulls.
There's skulls. There's like a massive amount of DVDs in the next room. That's like the man cave for his son Ryan. And it's just like freezing, and there's like a hot, what is that?
Wood burning stove. Yeah,
It's like really random in there, but it's awesome. I would hang out.
It's an awesome garage.
It is. It's a fun garage to hang out in.
Yeah. And that's the film room. My son is a filmmaker, and that's the film room.
Filmmaker.
And he has a group that meet. I call them the League of Extraordinary Mamalukes.
That's them.
Anyway, we're gonna come back. We're going to
take a short break.
We'll
be back with our first guest.
Yes, and I believe we're going to go to a clip of that interview with Nancy and Lee West and Tommy Tom. You're watching the Gagootz Show on Madhousetv.
Hey, this is Nancy, and I'm here in Lindenhurst, and this is the Gagootz Show on Madhousetv, and we're here at an open mic, and I'm going to introduce you to two guys that have a television show. And Lee West is running the open mic tonight. This is Lee.
That's what I do.
There he is.
That's what he does. And so tell us about your television show.
All right, what I like to do on our show, this is my bro host, Tommy Tom, right here.
What's going on,
Tom.
guys?
Well,
how are you?
what I like to do is just shed light on all the Long Island talent that we have. There's so much talent right here on Long Island. Yeah. And what I like to do is just show everybody a little bit about what we do. You come on the show, we gotta give you some stage time, some live air time. You sing a song, you play a guitar, you spit rap, you do jokes.
Anything, everything.
Talent that come from Long Island. My sister was on the show just a few weeks back doing tarot cards. I mean, all the talent we have on Long Island. And I want to show the people. I want to make it worldwide and let everybody know what Long Island has in store for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds great.
Yep.
That's
And I mean,
great.
not only that, we're also, very involved in the community.
All right, so what is your website and everything?
Well, you can find all that information on MrLeeWest.com. That's LEIGHWEST.com.
It's got to be difficult.
Don't forget the Mr. I'm Mr. Lee West. There's some porno check at regular Lee West. So, Mr. Lee West and TommyTom.com,
That's right.
The4Familiar.com is his album.
That's my
album. You can find everything, all the links on MrLeeWest.com. That's where to find us. That's how to get a hold of us.
Also, you guys
That's
can reach out on Facebook as well.
Yeah, Facebook, of course.
You gotta watch this show.
Yeah, there
Can
it
I
is.
say? Watch our show, watch their show.
Watch that show.
You guys gotta
Because then you can see this on that show. You'll see them on our show. We've had Benny on Reality TV just a few months back, and he brought a big
Gagootz.
A Gagootz. Yeah, so some squash. He was sticking in my Hoko's face at the time, and it was really funny. He's a great guy, and Nancy, thank you for coming down to Somo. Shout out to Somo and Lindenhurst. That's where we're at right now. Every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. we do an open mic. Whatever you got, you want the same thing, man. Sing, do a poem, do whatever you got.
Comedy, whatever.
Come on down.
Exactly.
It's 722. What's the address?
South Montauk. No, South Wellwood.
722 Wellwood Avenue South, where it says Chateau Lamar. Just come here. It's on the left-hand
We're not at
side.
Chateau Lamar.
Or it's www.
Well, we're not at Chateau Lamar. We're before that.
Yeah.
www.sohogrill.com.
Okay, and give a shout out to the Gagootz Show.
What's up? Shout out to the Gagootz Show, Tommy Tom.
Madhouse
Gagootz!
TV.
Tommy Tom! Madhouse! No, wait, he's Tommy Tom. I'm Mr. Lee West. Nancy
in the
Gagootz.
madhouse.
We're going mad in the house.
All right, guys, thanks.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. Time to make the donuts. Not a few kinds, like supermarket. Made the donuts. Time to make the donuts. But up to 52 varieties. The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket can say.
And we're back here on the Gagootz Show with our first guest of the evening, Joseph Conklin. Welcome.
Welcome, Joseph.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming in. So you're from the city.
Yes.
You're all over. We're doing a show together.
Yeah,
April 26th.
See, you're good.
I got it. Broadway Comedy Club. Guys, come check us out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be a fun show. That's a nice club.
I don't know anybody else that's on that show with us.
No, it's just you and me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. We can keep it that way.
Okay. So, on the flyer that you sent me, it said Monkey Business.
Yeah.
That's the show that's run out of Broadway.
Yeah. I like to name my shows so I can keep track of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, what other shows do you have that are named, and where are they?
Well, I do comics, which is a monthly show up in Yonkers. This month we're having a contest. 10 people. Good prizes, $100 top prize, free entry into the Comic Strip Live tournament that's coming up soon.
Oh.
And I have one more show at Otto Shrunken Head in the city, which is the second Thursday of every month. It's called Captain Kontiki Salty Spectacular.
Wow.
You can tell what I was on when I actually came up with that name, right?
Bath salts?
Yeah, bath salts, absolutely. Wink. Advil.
Right. And Noma, which I asked you earlier.
Noma's basically a production company that came together up in Westchester to really solidify a Westchester comedy scene. Because, as you know from being from Long Island, it's nice to spread the comedy scene outside of New York City, give comics that can't get to New York City all the time that access and their ability for all their friends to come see them.
Right.
There's many. I started in Westchester, and I know there was a big amount of Westchester comics, but to get people to come all the way down to New York City, they're paying the Metro North, they're paying for the 2 drinks. Exactly, it's a lot of money. So rather than that, we wanted to create a scene in Westchester itself. This way, it's in everyone's backyard. Plus, it also gives comedians more places to go and spread themselves out, more exposure. That means a lot to us in the comedy, because what we want to do with Noma is create a community, rather than constantly competing with each other and entangling. So we all came together in Westchester, and we're going to move forward as a solid front this way.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And you're going to open up several venues? Or?
Oh, well, basically what it was the number of producers that were already there, and they were scattered about. So rather than stay scattered, we came together under one umbrella. So we still have the comic show that I just told you about. That was PBMBS, which was my former, but it came underneath Noma now, so that now everything is under one blanket corporation. No, it's not a corporation. What is it? Conglomerate? Is that a word? That's a word, right? I don't know.
Every time I hear conglomerate, I just think of Wedding Crashers when he's like, maple syrup conglomerate. I don't know.
Well, then it's a good memory then.
Yeah.
At least it brings up good thoughts.
Now, we were talking before about going to say a bunch of open mics on the same night. Mm-hmm. Can you do that in the city?
You can. I can't. People do it though. Like there's a number of open mics on a daily basis. You can go on Bad Slava and you could throw a handful of pennies and hit an open mic in New York City.
Yeah.
So there's a big supportive community in New York City for comedians, especially in the open mic circuit. But there's a lot. You can do several
Why
in one
can't
night.
you do?
I live in the North Bronx,
Oh.
and I work in Westchester, so that it takes me an hour to get home, and then an hour to get to the city. And then I gotta be up at 5 a.m. for work. So it's too rough of a cycle, which is why again, Noma, we wanted to create open mics in Westchester too, for
Right.
people like me, so you don't have to worry about killing yourself just to do 5 minutes on stage and a beer.
Yeah.
You know.
Makes sense.
And these shows that you run, do you host them or?
Every so often I'll host them. The one at Otto Shrunken Head I host every month. I love that show. It's a very small room. It's probably the size of this studio. It's very intimate, so like you get to have a different experience, a looser experience with comedy, and I like to host that to make sure it stays that way. But with other shows like Monkey Business, the one you're on, I have Hector Luis host. I love Hector. I have him host every month. He's a great comedian. He's always guaranteed to be funny and entertain my audience. But with comics in Westchester, I swap every month. Me and my partner, he hosts, I'll do a spot. Then the next month, he'll do a spot, I'll host, rotating. But I love hosting, so it really doesn't matter. That's how I met you, where I hosted a show.
We were at the Big Kahuna.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That audience hated me.
They hated everyone.
Yeah, except you. They liked
They
you.
did
That's
like
what made
me.
her stick out in my mind. It was like she did the best of us that entire evening. I was like, you know what? She's on with Benny now? See, I tried to get Benny, but like I said, he's a diva.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, sorry, I can't. I don't have time to be on your show, Joe. My bad.
I work a lot of hours myself. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. I don't get home till like 6:30, and then I eat dinner. I fall asleep with my laptop in my lap.
Oh.
But tomorrow, I am going to an open mic tomorrow.
Oh, good.
And I'd like to do the two of them. I'd like to do the Lindenhurst and the
try to hit both.
Patchogue, but
That's
I'm gonna
so
go.
far from one another.
Try it though. Try it.
I'm gonna go to the Patchogue because I know they'll let me do a lot of time because they like me over there.
Yeah.
And I have to get ready for a show that I'm doing
Okay.
with
Yeah.
this Friday.
Oil up the machine.
Yeah, steal some jokes, steal material.
So what made you get into comedy? Where did you find your place here in the community?
Money, and which is weird to say for comedy, but it was it was immediate money. I had a friend, Glenn Miller, who Benny knows and doesn't like. It's okay, Benny.
Glenn Miller?
Yeah, Satan's comic.
Oh, Satan's comic.
It's all right. I love Glenn. But it's a great story.
I don't know him as a person.
I know. I was kidding because
It's
you
just
brought it up to me that day. You were like, hey,
the first time we met.
Yeah.
My son loves him.
He's very filthy, which is what I love about Glenn. But he was a good he's a good friend of mine on the side, and for years he kept telling me, Joe, you should do comedy. You should do comedy. And I always said I know the difference between being funny for friends and being funny to strangers.
Right.
So I didn't do it, but one day he had a contest, and the prize was $100, and I was broke. So I honestly thought, I was like, I can be funnier than other people for $100. And I won, and I got hooked. I was instantly hooked.
It's an addiction.
It is. It really is. I felt great. I had put so much effort into writing up the material, and I got a great reaction out of the crowd. So yeah, I got hooked. It is an addiction.
How long ago was that?
5 years.
Oh, okay.
5 years. This past February.
And you were never on stage before.
I had never stepped foot on stage or even held a microphone prior to that.
Just
I went straight based on the writing. Like I could write. I went to school for writing and stuff, not successfully apparently. But I had the writing aspect down. It was the performing part. But I'm also, I was a couple drinks deep and I didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
So it's easier that way.
Yeah,
Did Glenn help you out with constructing an act?
No, he advice here and there. His advice was more what to do on stage. Like calm down.
Microphone.
Yeah, stop leaning on the mic. Stay still. Because I would pace. I'd be all over the place, like on a little stage, just back and forth. The simple things like move the microphone back. If you're in a club, don't bring a drink on stage with you, unless it's water. Because I've seen people in the clubs get on stage and just be tipsy beyond belief.
Yeah.
It's like, you're in a club.
Yeah.
Be a little more, yeah.
But then, you could bring something to quench
Oh,
your
yeah, no,
thirst.
like water or
But-
soda, something
but,
like that. Yeah, but it's, I always looked at it as, you wouldn't get paid if you drank on your job.
Right.
So if you're up there and you're getting paid for a show, why you shouldn't be really drinking on the job. Afterwards, yes.
Everybody's different. There's plenty of comedians out there that are definitely.
Oh, I used to always drink white wine.
Yeah.
White wine before I had to for like the first couple of years to like settle those nerves a little bit. But I figured with wine you can't pound it and get all.
No, you can't. Well, you
Get all
can
ripped.
actually.
Well, you can,
Speaking
but it's-
from experience, you definitely can.
Well, I'm not a professional like you, Nicole.
But it's not the best thing to down by any means.
I got out of it. I was drinking airline, those little airline bottles.
The little bottles?
The little bottles. When I did that show for you at Broadway.
You were knocking them back in the
I
bathroom?
I
had
would
no
go
idea.
outside, I'd knock it back, I'd go by the coat rack, and then
That's shady.
I finally stopped. Because also what's bad when I would drink, if I'm doing performing and somebody talks, even though they're not heckling,
Oh,
they
yeah.
might just be having a conversation, I go after them.
Oh, so you got the temper.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't don't talk.
Start
You know,
talking
Yeah,
out on
he's-
stage.
go to your living room. Yeah, she did a show
At
with
my
me.
show, Benny was when he's like, "Oh, what do you think this is your house, your living room?
yeah,
Get up and start talking while people are talking." And whatever he said, I was like, "Oh God."
But then I looked at her. She was laughing, but
I was laughing, but the lady was like,
oh my
She was
God! But
embarrassed.
and then when we left, Nancy was there. And she
"Oh,
said,
man."
Nancy said, "Don't drink when you perform. Don't drink." And I haven't had a drink
See,
since.
good
when I
advice.
perform. I know.
You adore Nancy, don't you?
I love Nancy.
Why? Why do you adore my wife so much?
You've met her.
Exactly.
How do you not love Nancy?
That's
She is a
right.
force of nature.
She is actually.
Like if you like sunny days, you like Nancy too.
She's very vivacious.
Oh
Would
yeah,
that be
that's
the
a
word?
good word. That's a good choice of words
She's
for her.
unhinged, is what I'd like to say.
I mean, if you're her Facebook friend, you have to look out because she'll blow up your wall if she likes
No,
you.
she's a social media tsunami.
Yeah, she is.
She is. That is the best way. Nancy would like that. Nancy, did you hear what Joseph said? Say it again.
Force of nature, Nancy. Social media tsunami. I love it.
She's our publicist. We never asked her. She just
She just
Hey.
jumped right on in.
No, you lucked out with that one.
and she did that interview that we showed
Yeah,
before.
with Lee West. I like Lee.
Yeah.
Lee's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's
Mr.
very
West.
Mr.
his hair.
Yeah, I think you would. Yeah,
Ponytail top.
he had hair similar to like yours at one
Yeah,
time.
it's longer now. He pulled it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he grew it out, but he's a good guy. I did his show last year.
Yeah.
I've had
And
him on
we-
a couple times for sure.
We'd like to have him on this show when he can. He works
Yeah,
because I've offered him a few times. He's busy.
happens.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad you came from the city.
I know. It was a very long trek, Benny. I must love you a lot.
Aw.
When I got here, it was so long, I almost felt the need to like throw a ring into a volcano at the end. It was epic. No hobbits were involved. It was. No, it was good though. I told you I would come out eventually. I just had to find the
The
time.
right
Yeah.
time.
The time.
And then when he told me he wanted to come do the show, I said,
June.
I said, June. We're booked. Right now we're booked through June. He's like, June? I told you I want to come on
Yeah,
now.
right? First, he can't be bothered being on my shows. Now he's like, oh well, let me get to the waiting list.
Such a diva. We're gonna start calling you
Have your
Mariah.
people call my people.
I did that show with him about a year and a half ago, and I had met him. I only knew him on Facebook. I met him, loved him, saw him perform, loved it, thought he was a very funny guy. And then I was doing a theater show, in Hauppauge, and I'm like, well, let me ask Joseph Conklin if he went. And he came
That
from
was a
the
fun
Bronx.
show. That was a very fun show.
It was a fun show in a theater. We did it in
That's
the theater.
fun.
Yeah.
In the Saluna Studio Theater, and it was a fun show. He came all the way out from the Bronx. Nancy picked him up,
Yeah, we had
Nancy
a
picked
nice
him up
long
at the
talk on
station.
the ride from the station. It was fantastic.
and then I drove him to the Babylon station.
Not
because
so
it's-
fantastic. It was freak. A little thigh rubbing. Then he gets a little
Touchy
touchy feelings. Like, I'm so sad to see you go, Joe. I know.
Oh my God! Now I need a drink.
Oh, let's do this.
Anyway, we're gonna have to take a short break.
Yeah, I know.
And we'll be back with our next guest, Just Plain Keith. You stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're watching The Gagootz Show on MadhouseTV.com.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. Find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, DMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhousetv. You are the man.
And we're back with a very special guest, Just Plain Keith.
Hey, great to be here.
Yeah, great to have you on the show.
So we were all talking backstage before. If Keith and I know each other through my mom and through friends and whatnot, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show and see you here finally. Originally, you were supposed to be on a couple of months ago. And then some things happened and whatnot, but now we got you here now.
Yeah, it's great to be, and it was funny because Benny, I was booked for a Tuesday, and it's like, I never do anything on a Tuesday. It's like my Tuesday, the one Tuesday, I forgot what I had, but I was like, I can't believe it fell on a Tuesday.
I know you told me some comedy thing came up.
Yeah, it was something that, it was on a Tuesday, and I'm like, how is this on a Tuesday? I never get booked on a Tuesday, and I got 2 bookings? What's going on here? It's like crazy. But it's good to be here. Well, maybe I was meant to be here at this time, at this moment.
That was earlier on with the show.
It's destiny bringing us together. So you do recovery comedy shows, right?
Yeah, I do all kinds of comedy, but my passion, I work as an addiction therapist. I've struggled with addiction for 20 years, and I tell people, they're like, how'd you get a job as an addiction therapist? I said I did a 20-year internship in 1 year in school. So I took it to the streets, But I love doing comedy for it actually saved my life, comedy, and that's why I got into comedy, because my whole life was basically drinking and drugging. I didn't know how to have fun, and then I stopped, and I still didn't know how to have fun. So I went back. And the second time I came through recovery, I was like, I learned to laugh and make jokes. And as we were just joking before, I lost my arm. And, I made like jokes with that and allowed me to heal. And then someone's like...
Are you a righty or a lefty?
I used to be a righty, now I'm a lefty, Nicole.
So you write with your left hand?
Yeah, and like Benny told me, I use this as an eraser. I told him I'm using that now. That was good.
Yeah, you can have that. I'm glad.
But a lot of people are like, oh, you're a righty. It must have been hard to learn how to write lefty. I go, believe me, when you're a single right-handed man, the last thing you're worried about doing is learn how to write lefty. But I do, But I did adjust, and they say, You know, and today I can laugh about it and joke about it. I use it in my jokes. You guys were mentioning the zoos. And that's why I tell people I lost my hand. I was at the alligator petting zoo, and you just, you know, and then you tell everyone not to go in the zoos and pet the animals. I'm like, oh. Wish I would have known that then, you know.
We didn't have the Gagootz show.
Exactly. It would have saved me a lot of turmoil, you know.
And especially if you look at two, if you see two animals, stay away from the male.
But it's funny, when I tell that to people, they're like, oh my God, really? Where's the alligator petting zoo? I'm like, it's a joke, man. You know?
Those are the people you don't want to go to the zoo.
Yeah.
Let's go to the alligator petting zoo.
No.
But on the serious, that's what got me into comedy, was to heal. And then I started to do it, and it's just, my journey's been amazing. I started running comedy. Ran into a few people. I went to comedy school. I did similar to what Joseph did. I wanted to do comedy, and it was a thing with new comics. And I'm like, and the girl I was dating, I was like, go ahead, go do comedy. I was like, I never did comedy, and they had like 4 professionals, and it was like a recovery thing with all people in recovery. And the 4 professionals were horrible because they didn't connect. Right. They started doing, and I did all recovery stuff because I killed. I'm like, I'm meant to be, you know. Right. Then I got humbled real quick early, you know, because you have those shows where you think I should be on Broadway, then you have those other shows like, what was I thinking, you know? So that's when I got into comedy. I went to school at Governor's. I met a bunch of people, and we've just been friends. This guy Bob Baker, who's been on the Howard, he was on that show with Howard Stern, who chose on it. Terry McNeely, who I'm good friends with, who I work with. Mike Parente, who I started the business with. Mark Zakarin, Carrie Carabas taught the class. And it's like my little family. I'm still like hanging with all these people. That's it's like awesome. Really cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And now you have a business, you said. You have a comedy business.
Yeah, I've had it for 5 years. I mean, I do a lot of fundraisers, different shows. My recovery is I work with a lot of great comics. I mean, I've telling you, I've booked the Jackie Mason show. Kevin James came to one of my shows from the Kings of Queens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we booked a guy named Richard Menavidi, and he's
I know Richie.
Yeah, he started, and Kim and Kevin are good friends. So Kevin, and this is like when I started, I was doing like bringer shows and whatever, but this was our big show. Right. Kevin James was near the front, and I was like, I know you from somewhere. But it didn't click on me. It was Kevin James. And one of my friends joked, it's like, well, did you let him perform? And I was like, no, he didn't bring 3 people.
Yeah. You know, Richie Minervini, just to cut into, Richie Minervini owned the East Side Comedy Club. Right. And he was in Huntington.
Nice guy.
And then we went from Huntington, then he moved to Farmingdale when the lease went out. East Side Comedy was the premier, the best club. And Richie Minervini, being a comic, and he started at Richard M. Dixon's White House Inn that I talk about, which we called Comedy College. When Minervini opened his club, he treated the comedians like people. And he still does. He had a dressing room for them. He let them, they can hang in the room. You didn't hang out with unless you wanted to hang out. You had a dressing, and he treated you with respect. And he did bring us shows in a different way. You didn't have to bring people, but if you did, you would go up later than everybody else, you know.
And I mean, I started there too when I first started because I was new, and I brought people, and I joke about this. I say every show's a bringer show. Like people I don't do bringers. I like Gilbert Godfrey. His shows, he gets paid the door wherever he goes. They advertise it. They come because Gilbert Godfrey's coming. He has a name that brings people. If you have a name that brings people, great. You know?
Yeah.
But if you don't, sometimes these shows, you have to get people somehow. So whether it's a cause, whether it's the restaurant doing it, you know, it's no fun performing if no one's there.
Yeah. It's not any fun.
No, you want an audience.
Yeah. I heard nothing but good things about Richie, actually.
Oh, yeah, great man.
Yeah.
Great. And that's why Kevin James is such a buddy of his, because he's so good. Yeah.
Puts him on the shows, and even Richie, because I didn't make a lot of money on the show. I didn't make any money. Actually, I lost some money because of the advertising. But it was just to work with these big name people. And Richie knew it too. He goes, "You could have made a lot of money looking at it." And he goes, "No, I didn't. I just wanted the experience." And now we're friends. He talks to me, gives me a few advice, suggestions. But when you're new in the business, you do what you can to get your name out there. Yeah. And that was my first big, then you see someone like Kevin James, it's like, wow. And I have my picture on my website with him still. That's You'll awesome. See me and my buddy Mike and Kevin James, yeah.
Cool. Did You're also a motivational speaker as well, right?
Yeah, I actually, the comedy led me into the recovery comedy. And so I do a lot of recovery comedy. I've been on the road. I just went to, I went to Wisconsin to do it's funny because I used to warm up for this guy named Madhousetv, who's one of the best recovery comics I ever met. Great guy.
What does this mean?
This is just what I do with my fake hand. It just makes me feel like I got two hands. Like when people clap, I go like this. Not this one actually works, but it does make a clapping noise. So I just, I kind of warmed up for him, and then you know, we would do shows, and then it started to evolve, and he passed away, God rest his soul, and I kept the recovery comic going, and I attributed it to him. Then I worked with another top recovery comic. His name was Scott. You know, he had his own things, and so I was always like Robin, and they were like Batman, you know? But then when he left, I had to do a show, and I was like Batman, and I had a Robin, so it was like a new thing for me. I'm like, I'm Batman! You know? and now with the motivational speaking, I closed the thing. I was in Iowa last week. It was a recovery conference, and I was the last speaker for an hour. But they wanted motivational / humor.
Right.
So I was like Superman, because there was no one else, you know?
Yeah.
Talk about, but it just made me whole. It's like, this is what I should be doing. I did well, but I'm a perfectionist, and I watch my thing, and over and over, I could have done this better, I could have done that, why did I say this? This could have been put here,
But that's what makes you better.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, for next time.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. No, I won't. I'll find something else in the car.
Yeah. You know, you always find fine tuning. You know, but I saw your act when I did the show with you at
CK.
Yes, and that was the first time, or the second time that I saw you as me being in comedy. The first time I saw you, I wasn't, you know, doing it, and then I saw you in a new light, you know, being on the, you know, doing the show with you, and it, you know, I to see what you do in a room full of recovering addicts and seeing their faces and seeing a little bit of a smile while they're going through such crap. It's like, it's nice to see, you know, you doing something so nice for them.
I did one of those shows with you too.
Yeah.
And you had that is your audience. Like
Nicole's being a little modest because I went out there, I got a lot of smiles, but when she went out there, there was a lot more smiles, trust me.
I was the only girl.
You did a great,
on
and you were able to identify your old family kind of thing, which was neat. And it's just like, I just tell people when you do it, just be you.
Yeah.
You know, but it was awesome, man.
Well, you do recovery. You also do comedy shows, and we have a clip. We're going to show a clip from one of your...
a clean clip.
It's a clean clip.
That's the one thing. I like to be versatile. I could do clean. I could do adult. I could do... So this is one of my clean clips.
This is a clean clip of Just Plain Keith.
Thank you.
You're watching The Gagootz Show on Madhouse TV.
I'm telling you. It's good, but I'm learning new things about my wife, and she's learning new things about me, and sometimes we're not on the same page with everything. Not on the same page, really, it's true. Like, actually, today, coming to the show, I jump in the shower, because it is squeaky clean, like Mike mentioned. I get out, I grab the towel, I start drying off. My wife's like, what are you doing? It's like, what does it look like I'm doing? I'm drying off with the towel. She said, that towel? I was like, what's wrong with that towel? She says, that's the show towel. She told me it's not for drying, it's just for looking. I said, but honey, we live in a one-bedroom apartment with no one to show it to. She said, just don't use it. You know what I said, sir? Yes, dear. She got it! That's that delayed reaction jokes. Some of you are going to be going home later tonight and be like, okay, Oscar Kelly. I'll get an email later. I got it, Keith. One of those delayed reaction jokes. Here, I went to get my car washed lately with all the snow and the thing. Anyone get their car washed lately here? Oh, we got a few. This joke is going to go over real good.
All right, thank you, Ellen. You always put a plant in the audience for jokes just like this.
Oh, I got it.
There you go, baby. Done. Now we all caught up to speed here, sir? Yeah. Yeah, so I went to get my car washed. I went to one of these self-serve car washes where you put in like $6, you soap, you scrub, you rinse, you go. Right? So I put in my $6, I soaped, I scrubbed, I went to rinse, the money ran out. No more money. So I'm driving home. People are beeping their horns at me. They're flashing their lights at me. They're yelling, "There's sun's on your car! There's sun's on your car!" Like I don't know, I'm driving around with a car full of suns. I couldn't avoid it. I got stuck in a light. The guy's yelling, "The sun's on your car! The sun's on your car!" I rolled down my window. I was like, "Huh?" It's like, "The sun's on your car." It's like, "You got a towel?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Is it a show towel?" He said he didn't know. I said, "I can't risk it. I'm in enough trouble already." Anyway, you people have been great. I'm just playing Keith. We'll bring back up Samantha. All right.
So this little old lady, she comes over to me and she goes, "You're never going to be successful unless you follow Jesus." I said, "I would follow Jesus, but I can't walk on water." "And by successful, you mean mounted to a cross? Because he nailed it." Why aren't any of you laughing?
Because we're watching MadHousetv.com.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn?
Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure.
You'll be happy you did.
And we're back on the Gagootz Show with our guests, Keith and Joseph and me and Maddie and all of the people together here on the show. We're going to play a game, okay?
What fun.
Hey, we're going to play a game. It's called Heads Up. It's an app on your cell phone, and it's a lot of fun. Woo! And we're going to act it out, okay? So either you guys could go and we could guess, or you guys could put this on your phone and we could act it out and you could guess.
Whatever you decide, unless you have a preference.
No, I don't have a preference.
We'll let you make that major decision.
Put it on your head.
All right, we're going to place it on our forehead. And you guys got to tell me.
All right.
So we're a team, you and I are a
Me
team.
and you are a team.
Oh, nice.
Stop in the name of love. Breaking. Honking your horn. Okay.
What do I do? Do I...
Choking. You got to guess what they're doing.
All right.
Drinking.
Vomit.
I missed it. It's still
Yak.
puking.
Drive and yak. Yak.
Yeah, throwing up. Okay. Winking at me. Okay.
This is like charades for 4-year-olds. That's it. Oh.
Weightlifting.
This is very
I'm like a big
difficult.
kid. I'm like, whoa! I can't read that. I don't have my glasses.
okay.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Your pregnancy
Talking
test.
on the phone. Plugging the phone in. Charging your phone.
We're running out of time.
I think we
did pretty well.
I think we won.
I was pretty impressed with that.
All right. You guys got You got 6. So me and Benny have to.
We get sex?
You
What a fucking show, bro! Not from Benny.
All right, you guys are gonna place this on your
No,
forehead.
you do the forehead.
I got the forehead.
All right, me and Benny are gonna act it
All
out,
right,
and you
yeah.
have to guess.
I need binoculars to see that. Oh, okay.
All right, but
Guitar. We're tuning a guitar.
yes,
What do I gotta do
flip
this?
it down. Yeah.
I got this game down.
Okay.
Filing?
Something smells?
Can we do
You're
that?
going, baby, change it to baby.
Yes. Okay.
Horseback riding?
Yes.
Either that or she was doing something I don't know.
Oh, thank you.
Massage.
Yes.
That was like easy as winking.
Fingerprints?
No.
Ironing?
Yeah.
Tying her shoelace.
Yeah.
Oh, you better hurry up.
Choking.
Yeah.
Planting.
They're good. I think.
Oh, okay.
Can we get on a game show together? I think we got some
We
vibes
got
going
some
here.
stuff
I'm
going.
telling you.
We got 7. We got
Password.
7. We got 7. You guys got your big.
But let me get to
But the only reason you beat us is because we're good guesses.
They did, yeah. So
That
how
ain't
does
fair,
that?
right?
They
Yeah, we
guessed.
could have just sat there and not say nothing and won 6-0.
We were amazing guessers.
I'm telling
You
you.
were amazing guessers. All I did was touch this, and you're like,
That was great.
Well, you know, I
think
did.
the scoring really should go the
I
other
do
way.
have a history in substance abuse, so with the plants and the weeds and the.
I got it.
I don't know
game.
anything about that.
Benny, I broke a sweat on that one. I think.
Oh, Lord.
Flush.
My hair is starting to melt.
What hair? That hair. Oh, my goodness.
That was
I
actually
know.
fun. I like that. What I do, and even in therapy, we do little silly things like that called icebreakers.
Yeah.
And that's what we do in comedy. It's just like to get out of yourself a little
Yeah,
while
it's
and just do something silly. I'm glad you brought it up because me, Benny, and Joseph probably wouldn't, all right?
What was that?
You wouldn't have brought up that game if Nicole didn't?
No.
No.
It wasn't the first thing on the top of the list.
No,
We want to do more games on the show.
Yeah.
The show is, we're not stuck in a structure as though if our
In
viewers
case you
didn't.
haven't noticed.
This wasn't planned.
And we want to do different things. We want the show to have
Yeah.
more games.
If anybody has any suggestions, I'm sure you could, throw them at us. We'd love to hear them.
And keep them clean.
And keep them clean.
Thank you,
Yeah.
And we
Thank you.
And you can send them to us on Facebook on our Gagootz Show page or on our email us at gagootzshow@hotmail.com. And that's all lowercase Gagootz.
I learned the hard way.
Lowercase Gagootz.
Lowercase Gagootz.
Yeah.
And you can't get me at that email Beanie Riz doesn't exist.
No one gets that, Benny. You got to tell them
I'm
what
going
happened.
to tell the audience what happened. I spoke to Keith and Joseph, we text, and I said, email me. So Keith says, my email keeps coming back. So it was Gagootz Show, and I gave it to him with a capital G. So it's all lowercase. So then I said, all right, look, I didn't have time. I was having a bunch of conversations. I said, use this email address. So it's BennyRiz@outlook.com. He says, this one's coming back too, Beanie Riz. I said, I'm sorry.
I was like,
said,
why
I'm
is he saying Beanie instead of Benny?
Beanie
I don't
Riz.
understand.
So that's what that was
Doesn't
all
make
about. And
sense.
that happened last night. That's why I wanted to share that with our viewers.
Oh, well, that's good for clearing it up.
I wanted to share.
They need to know all of that.
They need to know.
They do. Those that need to know.
And
very informative.
Now, you've watched the show. You've watched the Gagootz Show. You knew that we had a video contest going on for the past, 3 months or so?
Yes. It's about
We've
3
had-
months.
About 3 months. We've had 8 actual people who sent us, and we've had from
And you received them,
Florida.
Benny?
We received them, and we showed them. And we showed them on
You
the
probably
air.
had about thousands, but you received 8 of them that had
received
already
8
built.
And they came from Florida, from New Jersey, from so I'll remember and a lot on Long Island. I'll remember the names now, right? And it was Brian Harris from Florida, Frank Scafuri that you know, Rudy Fusco, Pat Marone, Joey Petroni, Jay Watkins, and Andy Julia from New Jersey, who did Face to Face with Race. They had their heads together and they were talking. One's African American, one's Italian guy, and they were doing a race comedy. And then we had a Steve-O comedy show from the 1980s that we showed a clip with Joey Kohler on it.
How do you remember all that? Not this two N's in Benny.
I was just saying, very impressed by that. Like, he rambled that off.
Yeah, I was in awe too.
I was really impressed, you know.
It almost looked like he was on another game show trying to get.
I'm trying to. Well, I'm a diva. I have to remember all the people I'm better than. So anyway, for 3 months we told all the viewers to email us, or and even after we showed a video, we aired a video, we mentioned where you can email us, how you can get in contact. Nobody voted. So the whole staff here voted, the whole crew, other people, including Jeannie Powers, who isn't here.
Yes.
And we voted the winner of our first Gagootz Show video contest are Andy Julia and Jay Watkins for Face to Face with Race. And they will be here next month. Guys, you'll be here next month, and we'll give you your prize.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm extremely excited to meet them. I've watched their video. I watched them on the show. Hilarious two dudes that are just a ball of fire fun to
From
watch.
Jersey, so we got some Jersey comics. And they're South Jersey. It took them 2.5 hours to get here.
Wow.
And that's what I like. I was listening to Joseph and him from Westchester and being from Brooklyn. How with the struggle to do comedy. Sometimes I feel so spoiled being from Long Island. I mean, this guy's working, going from Brooklyn to Westchester to the city to do an open mic, and then you have people from Jersey.
Yep.
So
I'm so glad you appreciate me.
I do. I appreciate. I don't even know him, and I appreciate him.
I appreciate it.
And the young man Brian Harris, who was the first video I showed, he's in Florida. And he had heard about the Gagootz Show from my wife Nancy, of course. He heard, and he was the first one. He sent me the video of him doing stand-up, and it was like his third video, and he was only doing stand-up for about a couple of weeks.
He was
And
funny,
he said that
though.
he was funny.
Very funny.
And what I liked about this kid was he did a longer set than I cut it down. He does a set of clean, and then he says, "Okay, we're adults here. Now we're going to go into my more," and then he lets you know, now I'm going to go into the racier material.
Yeah.
But I cut out that part when he went. Yeah, it was
You're
fun.
like, I cut out the raciness.
The racy, because we try to keep the language down to a minimum in case he wants.
I thought you were about to steal his thunder when you said. I said where he came all the way down from. It was like, well, we had this guy from Florida who flew downtown.
No, he didn't fly, but no, just the fact
it
that
took me 2.5 hours to get here too.
I think he could fly quicker from Florida,
the Bronx.
right? Yeah.
And you came from Westchester today?
Yeah, I came from Westchester today.
Well, we
that's a
appreciate
long
you
ride.
guys
I
coming
appreciate you
down.
having
And we had a lot of fun on the show. We're going to have to wrap it up now.
Yeah, we have to. We're
It's
wrapping it up.
closing time.
You can see somebody. I can't see. They're not talking to me.
No, they're not.
You can.
I can see them.
Are you closing
You can
with a
see
song,
them.
Nicole?
I am now closing time. One last call for alcohol.
Closing
so
time at
finish
the-
your whiskey or beer. Closing time. I don't know the rest of the words, so I'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye.
Thank you for
watching the
watching.
show.
Our great guest, Joseph Conklin, and Just Plain Keith. Our wonderful, adorable co-host,
Thank
Nicole
you.
LaMonica, the birthday girl. Happy birthday, Nicole.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. You'll be older next week.
Yay! I still won't know any of the stuff you're talking about, though.
That's okay. Reboot.
Reboot.
It'll be a reboot.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night,
Enjoy the
everyone.
week. Bye-bye.
See you next week.